What's up, everybody? It's Danny Green here, back with more Inside the Green Room. My co-host, Harrison Sanford. We got a chance to sit down with my teammate, Ziaire Williams, in his road from rehab back to making his debut. Also, his senior year playing with Bronny James, and why he turned down the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Who the hell knows why he would ever do such a thing? But before we get into that, we know my man H got all the drama and wants to talk about it. So H, what you got for us?
Oh, I love the NBA, Danny, because there's always some drama. Yes, I'm looking forward to talking to Ziaire, but first I gotta get your thoughts on one. What is it? The coldest one? What do they call Mr. Ice Tray? One Trae Young, his private life became public, thanks to a report from The Athletic and Shams Charania. Apparently, him and Nate McMillan had a little dispute, had a disagreement about how he should participate in shoot around, and if he didn't participate in shoot around, then he would have to come off the bench or not attend the game, and he didn't attend the game as the Hawks beat Denver. This was late last week. I'm curious, when you saw that report, though, what was going through your mind?
So with the information that is being put out there, because I can't speak on what I don't know. You know, obviously it's a private matter. He said, I did see in his interview where one of the reporters was really kind of attacking him a little bit. I thought it did make him uneasy. I thought it was a bad approach. You know, it's not what you say, it's how you say it and how you approach someone. And I did think he was in every right to talk to the reporter the way, because the reporter was talking to him a certain way. But with the information that is being out there, I'm sure that he, as well as myself, I thought he could have handled it differently. Being a role player, is hard for me to understand how a star player mindset is, or attitude, or what's taken place. But for me, it's like, all right, you know, I'm gonna do what is necessary for my brothers or my team. I'm gonna do what you know, and who knows how that exchange went, or how Nate talked to him, or how disrespected he felt in that, you know, in that matter, in that atmosphere. But for me, it's always like, all right, regardless of having an out or disagreement with the head coach, which I've had in my past, I'm going to be there for my team. I'm going to be there for my brothers. I'm going to be there for me. I'm going to be a professional. And not saying that, you know, he's not a professional. I said, I just don't know the ins and outs of the private conversation. And who knows how extreme it was. But for me, I think it could have been handled differently. I'm sure that another conversation could have taken place after that, where things have calmed down, to where he can still be there for his team, or show up, or they can come to some type of compromise to where it was not one or the other. And he said it was mutual. So we don't know what kind of really took place, or what really was the discussion, if Nate said, you know, don't show up, or, you know, don't do this or don't do that. So for what the information that is being put out there, and what I've heard and what I've known, what you've just told me, I would say, you know, my thoughts are, yes, it could have been handled differently. A conversation could have been had. And yes, he could have or should have been there with his team, or at least on the sidelines for his teammates and his brothers. You know, being you know, a professional athlete in this league, and being a high valued or high watched or a superstar, you know, there are certain things that you have to live up to, certain things that you have to do, the certain standards that you have to meet, and expectations. And one of those is showing up night in, night out, ready to play and at a high level, but also, you know, leading your team. And part of that is learning and growing up to be a leader. And that's him showing up.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's interesting, Danny. So Nate McMillan was the coach of the Indiana Pacers, and then ended up now in Atlanta. And it seemed as if, for some of the reporting, was that he just wasn't getting along with either the players or the front office. And it made me just think of, like, and I'm looking at, as we're recording this right now, I'm watching the Lakers game, and I see Russell Westbrook come off the bench now, and actually it seems like he's embracing that role. And so now it makes me really start to think, and I knew this, but I'm sure you can kind of co-sign this. As much as coaching is about X and O's and drawing up plays and you know, being innovative with your team and your scheme and your game plan, I feel like so much of it, Danny, is just, can you coach men? Can you lead men? Can you relate to men?
Can you manage egos?
Can you manage egos and personalities and certain dynamics? I feel like that might even be as important, if not more important, than the actual X's and O's.
Probably more important on this level, because a lot of guys understand and know the game. Obviously, a big part of the X's and O's and strategy and philosophies is part of winning the game. But when you have superstars, being able to, I wouldn't say micromanage, but be able to put them, and not just them, but role players, in positions to be successful, and for them to accept that. You know, and sometimes you have different situations where some superstars or all-stars are not going to vibe with it or not like it and not be on the same page with you. But I said it's all about approach. And I think the way Darvin Ham has approached Russell Westbrook in that situation has allowed Russ to be more open to doing that. And now he's embracing it, and you see things are going well for him and for them. They are on a better groove and a better rhythm, better chemistry. And not saying that Nate was going to have Trey come off the bench for the rest of the season. I just think it was because of a disciplinary action for you, whatever is consequence that you, whatever you had did or whatever actions you took to get you in that situation this is what the disciplinary actions are, or these are consequences for you not showing up late or not doing shoot around. And, eventually you get back to starting. It wasn't a permanent situation. But for those of managing guys that are getting older or different games, or for our team or our system, you're better for us. We need more scoring off the bench. For them to understand that is all about, coaches managing egos, taking the right approach and coming to them in a grown man way and saying, hey, this is what we need from you. And we know that you're great enough to do this. You're good enough to do that and be a star. But for us to be successful as a group, we're going to need you to do this. We need to put you here. So that's a good, I would say at least 40% of what this league is about. It's not just, X's and O's and plays and theories and how to stop teams, but be able to manage your players as grown men. And that's the reason why a lot of teams are signing or bringing back Udonis Haslam's or Jared Dudley's, or bringing me on as a mentor here in Memphis to get guys to understand certain things or to relay a message to guys that a coach may not be able to relay, and get them to see the bigger picture on why it's important for them to be accepted certain roles as professionals. Yeah,
for sure. When you see things go, I'm just looking at all the teams that you've been on that at least won championships, and I'm sure the chemistry was A1, and that that also relies on the coach being there for the team and kind of guiding them. So I hope I hope that continues to happen with you there in Memphis, and we'll see how it develops there in Atlanta. But speaking of coaches, Danny, I hate when I do this sometimes. Last time we did this show, I referenced something and we talked about so many different things. I forgot to get back to it. There is this one thing, speaking of coaches, called the Doc Rivers rule. Can you please enlighten our audience on what the Doc Rivers rule is?
This is a good question. I've seen you speak about this on multiple occasions. There's many different things you can be referring to on this. I don't know or recall in what aspect or topic you mean on the Doc Rivers rule, because I don't know if you've seen, but there's a lot of viral videos of people doing interviews, Ty Lue, Kevin Garnett, about Doc Rivers, of how and motivating them. But you said a Doc Rivers rule. What does this pertain to?
Bro, I thought you said it the last episode. I thought you said that if you go out to dinner.
This wasn't a rule. This was just something that he did on his own thing. Okay. So we'll go get back to that. So Doc had a thing. It wasn't really a rule. It's funny that you bring that up, but it's a thing like, he loves to eat. He's a foodie. I think he loves restaurants. And he likes to go, I wouldn't say hole in the walls, but he likes to go to these hidden, really good places within each city. And he said, if you could find me, I'll pay for your bill. That was one of the things that he always did. And it's not something I carried on, but it's something here that I could see myself doing. And some of the staff, I kind of used it. And when I was in New York, I wouldn't say it was a hidden thing, but it was a hard place to get into. I went to a restaurant. It was a really good restaurant, a very hard place to get into. And, I just so happened somebody from our organization had walked in and sat down as well. So I was like, you know what? I ran into them twice, actually, that we can go to different dinner places, eating food. So I was like, I'm gonna be Doc right now. So they didn't know, but they knew at the end of the night, but I ended up paying for the bill because they had found me twice now, eating in a big city of New York. So I'll probably implement that with my younger players, which I doubt they even go out the room, have them eat room service or eat whatever. But if I do end up going out with my family or friends and I end up seeing somebody, I think I seen Jake LaRavia one time the first night, but he was with a bunch of people. But I think it's a pretty good, it's a dope thing to do for your teammates, your brothers, your former players or employees and organizations, be able to, if you find me in the city, at a good restaurant, I'm gonna take care of your meal type of deal. So Doc was always good with that, even though I never got a chance to find him. But he did take care of our meals when we did do team dinners. So we appreciate him for that. But yeah, I think that was a dope thing that he kind of had going for himself.
Wait, hold on. All right. So you paid. So when you were in New York, you paid for somebody else's dinner. Tell me that person who you paid for is like a rookie, second year. It's not nobody in the front office.
No, I wasn't a player. It wasn't a player.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was a media person. It was a media person.
Well, no, you still could have paid for.
Oh yeah, I'm
I
not
think
paying
you could
for
still pay for like a
front office
rookie.
people. Oh, for sure.
I was about to say, if you pay for somebody in the front office, I'm about to be upset.
Listen, this is another rule. There's an asterisk here for this little thing that Doc's going on, and he may not have this asterisk, but for me, if you make more money than me, I'm not paying for your dinner.
Thank you. About to say.
So like, you know, I don't mind paying for Ja's meal or Jaren's meal, but these young guys,
what you mean? No, Daddy, no, you can't do that.
I said I don't mind it. Doesn't mean I'm doing it. I'm just saying. Do not let me finish my statement here. I wouldn't mind doing it, but I'm not gonna do it. So like those guys that make more money than me. Now rookies, you guys still in their first contracts, you know, stuff like that. Media people, employees, staff. I don't mind taking care of their bill, you know. But front office guys, they probably have more money than me, make money. You know, GMs or coaching staff. You know, they're pretty like they might not, but I don't mind taking care of a coaching staff. But certain players and certain front office people. Sorry, you guys are excluded from this little theory, this little rule we got going on.
You know what's going to happen now, Danny? You about to have all the youngins on the squad on a scavenger hunt.
They ain't gonna find me. They don't leave the room.
Oh yeah, until they hear this episode, they're gonna be like, I bet they gonna find you. Gonna find you. Wait till y'all go play in LA. You gonna be found. You better go back to your house in LA.
That's where I eat at. I eat near my house. They're not going that far out. They're gonna be in Beverly Hills or something like that. Eating. I'm gonna be right in my area, eating at a small little restaurant, which I doubt any of them have heard of, or even been. They probably haven't been in my area.
I hear that. I commend you for doing that. That's pretty dope. I will also say this too, Danny. I commend you for your television choice. I have, with your recommendation, I have started Your Honor on Showtime, and man, is it good! Oh,
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
College football season's pretty much over. I need entertainment that's not sports related. It's and White Lotus is done. We got one more episode left. Your Honor is hitting the spot.
I just started that, so I appreciate your recommendation on that as well. I do have some others, and said Your Honor was, I think, the same director and producer.
Not too fast, Eddie. Don't go too fast.
But we'll get you. We'll get you there, bro. We'll get you there. So that I ain't staring you wrong.
Let me get through Your Honor first, and let me finish it.
All right, but wait, White Lotus is a good one as well. So I started that, and it's been good for me. So I appreciate you and your suggestion. You have not steered me wrong just yet with all the recommendations you've given me.
I refuse to ever give one bad recommendation. I refuse.
We'll see. There's going to be a time.
No. All right, we got to get to Ziaire Williams as he tells Danny why he turned down the Tar Heels in favor of the Stanford Cardinal. A bunch to discuss with him. And again, once again, a reminder, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and even now TikTok. Episodes every Wednesday. And this Wednesday, Ziaire Williams. We'll be right back on Inside the Green Room. Back like we left our car keys inside the green room with Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford, and we are joined by a man on the Memphis Grizzlies who is doing the holiday season right, unlike my co-host. If you're watching us on YouTube, you see Ziaire Williams with the Christmas tree in the background, and if you're seeing the screen, you're also seeing one Danny Green without one. Danny and I have talked about having a Christmas tree up during this time of season. He's not with it, unfortunately, right now, but I appreciate you for playing the holiday role correctly, my friend.
Hey, somebody's got to do it, man. I'm happy.
This is crazy. I'm not with it. I didn't say I wasn't with it. I just haven't gotten around to doing it in some years. So now that first and foremost, welcome to the show.
AKA not with it.
We appreciate you joining us on the show. Welcome to the show. It's not about me not being with it. So I have to ask you, who put the tree up for you?
My dad did,
Okay, so you
chilling.
Exactly. So you have family in town. He came through, kicked it, visited.
Sure. If they weren't here, for sure would not be out.
Okay.
No.
So there you go. This only happens decorations. Like my dad's here now too. So he brought some Christmas lights. I don't know why, because we never take stuff down or put stuff up. So it's just kind of like a waste of money. So it's not that I'm not with Christmas trees. I do enjoy holiday cheer and Christmas lights. I just don't have the time to decorate or take down and we've been moving a lot. So I haven't put up a Christmas tree in a while. So he's been on my ass about not having a Christmas tree in my crib. Mind you, I only see Christmas trees as something to put gifts under. So like if you're going to be here to celebrate with family, to put gifts under, if you have nobody to put gifts under for and you're not going to be here, we're going to be in the Bay. What's the fucking Christmas tree? Excuse my language. Those for tuning in.
Shit, we used to do the whole real tree, put on top of the car, water it every night, but we got it. Now, just.
So y'all got spirit. I like it. It.
Got to.
Word. So before we get into the nitty gritty things, we're gonna have a quick fire. Is that what you want to do first, H, or what?
Yeah, let's do the quick fire. Fire, my friend.
We got a quick fire round off of questions, and this is kind of you just quick thinking. What first thing comes to mind when when we ask you these questions?
All right, man.
So this is year 2 for you. You're still a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play your first game as a second year, so you're kind of still a rookie. We'll get into that in a second or two later. Best moment of your rookie year?
Madison Square Garden game. We played the Knicks. Put up 20 points, was feeling good. Just the whole atmosphere of the Garden was just insane. It was definitely one of my favorite moments for sure.
First time ever experiencing the Garden ever as a ever. Okay. Yeah. And you had a good game. Is this when you had the hair out or no?
Nah, not this one. Yeah, I did. We played the Warriors game 5, beat them by like 30, and I put the hair out for that game. So
okay. Okay.
For sure.
We might need that again for Christmas.
Yeah,
for sure. We'll get to the Christmas game in just a moment. Next question for you: where were you when you got the FIBA Under-19 Team USA invite?
Oh man, that's a great question. I'm pretty sure I was at home. Actually, my mom told me. I got home from school. I had like this envelope on the table. She gave it to me and I read it. It said I got invited. It was like all the dates and stuff. So that was I forgot all about that. That's crazy.
He's so big time, man. This guy has been invited to everything. USA, that little shit, man. I've been there, done. You know what I'm saying? No, 19 under USA shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be on a real Olympic team. I hear it, man.
Did you call? When you got my bad, Danny. When you saw the envelope and you got it, did you call any of the other guys on the team? I think Jalen was on it, Scotty Barnes was on it. Did you hit them up?
No, I didn't. I didn't hit anybody up. I didn't know who was gonna be there. Yeah, honestly, I didn't really know too many people like that at the time, anyways. So like, I was just happy to be there, for real.
I hear that to yourself. I did not know this about you. Go ahead, Paige. Go ahead.
My bad. I guess that would have been awkward, Danny, right? Like you get the invite and then like, let's say you hit up like Jalen Green, like, yo, did you get the invite? And let's say he didn't get it. Right?
Yeah, that's why you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a surprise party. You can't hit the, you know what I'm saying? Like you have no idea who was invited to what, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be kind of ruining that for some people and maybe ruining for, the main person, who knows, who might not have gotten an invite till later on down the line. So yes, this is something, Z, get into the next question that I did not know about you. I'm learning as these guys done their research. Your parents were in the military, is that correct?
Yep, both of them. Pops was in the Marines and mom started in the Army, ended off Air Force.
What is the most trouble you've gotten in with your parents, and what was the probably the craziest disciplinary thing they made you do from them being in the military?
So like for them, it was always just talking back. Like that was just the first thing that just instantly just got them. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's been quite a few sudden like instances where I've got my butt beat a lot. or like a lot of times I would talk back to my mom and then my dad would come home from work and then he would just be on it with me right away. Like
double whammy.
I'm trying to think, what's the worst?
Like as a teenager, did it like, how Lil Boosie, I think he had his kids walk the wall. Have you seen that, Harrison?
No, I didn't see that.
I haven't seen
Boosie got this big ass estate property. I think it's in New Orleans. He's somewhere, I think he's in Baton Rouge or something like that. And he makes his kid, like, I think he made them walk the wall. Like they're doing chores and they're like walking around this big ass estate. I don't know if they're carrying something, but he has them walking the wall and cutting the lawn and doing chores and stuff like that. So they never made you do any like military, frog leaps, frog crawls, or nothing crazy.
Nah, man. I mean, like, I feel like I was forced to walk to school a few times, like in the cold. That's probably the worst it got. Like, honestly, it was just a bad butt whooping, get your phone taken away. And then until they feel good again, until they feel nice again, then they would kind of let me breathe. But they would always, like, after every punishment, especially my dad, he would always like tell me like the right thing to do and tell me like why I got the whooping, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I always respected about him, for sure.
So one
So-
last part about this before you ask, did they have a certain way that they taught you to like greet them or, greet certain people? Like, this is how you respect your elders, how you greet, this type of person, and this is how you greet us or talk to us, like, yes, sir, no, sir. Were they very strict on how you talk to people?
Like, yeah, but they weren't like real, like hardcore military
Okay.
commander, like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Like, it's always just make eye contact, firm handshakes, just really just be a light in the room, man. Just always keep the energy up. And more importantly, to respect your elders, respect your fam. So that was the main thing with them. But they weren't as bad as people make it seem. Yeah.
Z, I think I heard you say something. You said walk to school in the cold. You said that, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're from 661 Lancaster, California, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gets cold in Lancaster, Florida?
Shoot, rarely.
I mean,
That's
California?
when they get cold, they were on that with me. Hey, one year I saw snow one time my whole life out there. It was like second grade. That was like the craziest like experience ever for me. Like school got canceled. We were out walking to Blockbuster, getting movies. It was fun.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, back in the day, that's a throwback.
Dang, that's back in the day. Just took it back. All right, last one of the quick fire, real quick. We'll get to your upbringing in Lancaster in just a moment. What is your go-to spot in Memphis, Tennessee?
Like eating wise or just
whatever you want to call your go-to spot. It could be
it was top three. It could be eating, it could be vibing, it could be, anything.
Could be your spot where you go meditate. Well, actually, you don't want to give that away, but yeah, whatever you want to consider your go-to spot without giving it up too much.
So there's this place called Blue City Cafe. It's pretty good. I know the owner there. So that was actually the first restaurant I went to out here, and the owner of that restaurant ended up being the owner of my house I live in, so it worked out pretty well. So Blue City for sure. When I have the fam out or aunties, uncles, cousins, we go to like the weekend downtown, a little lounge spot. That's a nice little, really the only hangout spot that I know of out here. And then there's a restaurant called Flight. I don't know if you guys have had it before. It's really good.
I've heard of it. Somebody keep mentioning to me. I haven't been there before. Where is that located? Is that downtown?
Yeah. It's like literally like 2 minutes from the arena. It's they give you like you get three options of like different samples from the menu. And it's a nice little setup. It's different, but it's really good.
All right. So now getting to the good stuff, man. We know you've been out for beginning the whole season, really. How excited are you to be back, and what's your rehab process been like? Give us a dive in, the fans a dive in of what you've been going through. We know rehab, for a lot of people, they don't understand how much harder it is during that process than is actually playing the games or practicing. You're doing way much more. So give us an insight to your rehab process and, what's coming, how excited are you to be back?
Right. Yeah, no, I'm super excited, man. I don't think words could really express my feelings right now. The hardest thing for the rehab process for me was just like the mental side. Like, you spend so many hours like training, getting ready for the game. So then when it's taken away from you, it's like, oh shoot, like what do I do now? So in the beginning it was rough. Just waking up, trying to play, and then knee getting worse. But once I got on a program and I figured out, okay, I'm gonna be out for 4 to 6 weeks, it kind of just put peace in my mind. Like, okay, well, now I don't have to worry about trying to force myself to come back, and I could just really dial in on these 4 to 6 weeks, take every day, one day at a time. And it was tough. You've seen me struggling in the weight room. Yeah. They're Boyd over there killing me. But it's all worth it. It makes it all worth it, man. I've been feeling great. Had some really good play groups, played 5-on-5 yesterday with the hustle, went really well. So I'm excited, man. I'm just trying to just go out there and just have a factor in the game, man. Whether it's defense, scoring, rebounds, whatever. I'm just trying to go out there and get some wins.
We're a big shout out to our medical staff and Jared. I don't what's Jared's last name. For some reason I don't think I ever knew it. There you go. Shout out to Jared Boyd. What'd you call him? Boyd, Jared Boyd. Big shout out to Jared Boyd and our medical staff. They've done an amazing job. Not just with me, but with Z and everybody else that's been rehabbing. I know Dez is out right now. He's been working with Dez as well. Yeah, so I could see how mentally tough that could be, especially for a young player coming in like yourself and playing well, seeing yourself being a big piece to what we're doing, getting some major minutes and having an impact early on. And also the fact that you're still a rookie till you get a chance to play your first game. So I know guys are still messing with you and having you do some rookie duties. But yeah, man, it's a strong process mentally more than physically. And I see you working day in and day out. I know you're excited. And I'm sure you're excited about this Christmas game coming up. So how important was it for you to get back before that game?
Yeah, for real. That was really the main thing. Like, I don't care how many games I miss. I just have to play in that Christmas game, like by any means. So I'm definitely thankful. I get about 2 to 3 weeks before then to get my
little rhythm.
Some rhythm, get all that final little rust off. But it's gonna be fun, man. I know the whole team, we've been waiting on this one, so we need some get back for sure.
Man, I'm looking for. Sorry, H, but I haven't had a Christmas game in a while, and I haven't played in one. It's been some time, and I'm really mad that I'm not be able to play in this Christmas game. I was rushing or pushing for me to try to get ready for that because I knew it was impossible for me to get ready for to be back for the Christmas Day game. But yeah, I'm really jealous that you guys are gonna be out there hooping. But I hope we do get the win. Hopefully next year I'll be back, and hopefully we get another Christmas Day game, and hopefully I can play in that one. But yeah, I'm excited for it, but I'm a little jealous that I can't be in that one.
So in your last Christmas game, what was there like a different kind of approach to it that you played in, or it was just the same game?
Yeah, it's a little different. It's not as exciting as like a playoff matchup. My last Christmas game was in San Antonio. Philly, we didn't get any. I don't know if we got one in Toronto. I don't think we got one in Toronto.
You got it. They got it after you left. After you won the chip, they got it the following year.
Yeah, we didn't get one in Toronto. We didn't get one in Philly. I remember they felt disrespected because they were like a top team in the East. We were number one in the East. So we didn't get one in Philly. And LA, I think we did. We get a Clippers game. That one was a big one. So like obviously the rivalry Lakers Clippers. So that was a fun one. So I had a lot of excitement about that one. But before that, San Antonio, like we had a couple good ones, but they weren't like big rivalry games. So outside of Lakers one, I had to have a real good, Christmas Day game, the one that you're looking forward to. So the Clippers was the last one, but that's been a couple of years now. That was before the bubble.
That's crazy. Z, I'm curious. Okay, so you said you circled that one versus the Warriors on Christmas Day. Why?
I mean, shoot, it's Christmas Day, my whole life it's been, you open up gifts in the morning and you watch NBA basketball. Like, so just to be playing in front of millions, see all my friends watching me from home, it's gonna be like almost just a starstruck type of moment, But I'm excited for sure. And I'm glad I get, like I said, a few weeks and some games to get ready for that.
So I'm sure Christmas is going to be fun playing on Christmas Day. I'm sure it would have been fun if you played the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Whoever.
But yeah, but it's the Warriors too. Yeah. Does that add anything to it for you?
I mean, for sure. The league knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like they already got some little animosity towards each other. But at the end of the day, it's all for the love of the game. We all have respect for each other. So we're just trying to just go out there and just play a high level of basketball and, give the country and the world a show, hopefully come out with a win.
DG, it does remind me, like I'm looking at Grizzlies Warriors now, and it reminds me when it used to be Spurs Warriors, kind of like you on the Spurs and you knew the Warriors were coming. Like there's nothing like you could play well, but you knew the Warriors are coming. And now it's like Warriors are, on top of the throne, but they know Memphis is coming. And it's interesting that you're on like both sides of it. Is that how you kind of see it too?
It's exactly how it is interesting. I'm on both sides because like they were like little brother when I was in San Antonio. Like a lot of our San Antonio people were in Golden State, and they had Steve Kerr there, obviously, who was played under Pop, was with Pop, and they know him very well. They're very familiar with each other. So a lot of those teams and organizations that have San Antonio descendants are like, I guess, little brother, but they were very good. We knew they were coming, and we had a team, we had a squad, and they eventually said they got real good, and we had to kind of re-up. That's when we got LaMarcus, and, you know, I brought in David West for a second. I think we had lost David West before this matchup in the Western Conference Finals. That's when Kawhi hurt his ankle with the Zaza play, which is now a new flagrant, you know, foul rule. But yeah, they were like our little brother, and I could see, you know, Golden State looking at Memphis like that. Like, you know, this is, I wouldn't say little brotherish, but like, this is a young team that we know is up and coming. We were them at one point. So sure. I'm sure they have a lot of fun with that matchup because they always have something to prove too. They got to prove that they still got it, that they're not getting old, and that they can still, you know, be the top team in the league, and beating these, you know, up and coming teams. So it's that, and I think that's the reason why the country loves it. The league loves it. They want to see it, and that's why they put it on Christmas. They want to see these matchups, and it's going to be a fun one. Hopefully everybody's healthy. Hopefully we get Dez back. I hope Ziaire is still good. Tripp is still good. Hopefully we have, you know, our whole team without me, besides me, but hopefully everybody's healthy, and hopefully they have everybody healthy so we can have a, you know, fun matchup and see what it's like, because it might be another playoff matchup down the road. You never know.
For sure. That's the one we want.
I'm happy for you because you get to play in Christmas, and you also get to do it in your home state. I assume you're going to have some type of family be there in the game if they allow people from other fan bases to get in there at Chase Center. So you're in your home state, obviously, where you also played high school basketball, and eventually your senior year you transferred to Sierra Canyon. I'm curious, how was that experience transferring into Sierra Canyon, and how was that senior year, obviously playing with Bronny?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, that senior year of basketball was like by far the craziest like experience I've ever been a part of. Like, it honestly prepared me for the NBA. Like, I remember we went to China, and this whole herds of fans with LeBron jerseys and Dwayne Wade jerseys just chasing the bus. You know, they chant, you can't even understand what they're saying. It's just loud and full, sold out arenas. We went on like 6 or 7 different like states or cities out there, and man, it was just live and just full of just energy everywhere we went. We played in the Minnesota Timberwolves arena, sold out. Dallas Mavericks arena, sold out. Just everywhere, man. That LeBron effect and that Bronny James effect, man. It's real. They have some crazy fans, man. It's weird because a part of you is like, you're glad, like, you know, you're a part of it. Then a part of the other side of me just feels bad. Like, damn, Bronny literally like has to deal with this every single day. You know, Z Wade has to deal with this every single day. But the greatest part about it is they're just two dope, just human beings. You know, those are like my bros. I talk to them all the time. To this day, you know, just about anything outside of basketball. And you know, I'm glad I was a part of that for sure. And to get a state championship ring to finish off my high school experience, man, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, it's dope, man. It's a lot of media attention, a lot of notoriety, but at times it can be too much, especially for a high school kid. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I didn't go through it in high school, but I know Bron has been growing up under the camera. And I talk about this all the time about how certain guys, you know, I commend them for the career and lifestyle that they have no choice but to live and still be able to, you know, I wouldn't say be perfect, but be damn near perfect under most circumstances when they grow up from 17, 18 throughout their whole adulthood, being watched and everything they do. So it's kind of crazy to get that attention at that young of age, and to get that exposure before you make it to the league. And even more exposure than you'll get in college or even in the NBA. So you probably got more attention than in high school than you got, you know, being in the NBA. You're just another guy. But being at Sierra Canyon is crazy. So you did go to school. Did you get that same? What school did you attend? Because I heard that you had some offers, man. I'm wondering. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Stanford. I'm not gonna lie, man. I did have a few offers from.
What was your top 5? Let's hear those top 5 and why you chose Stanford over those top 5.
So if it wasn't Stanford, it was actually UNC. And telling Roy Williams,
this is what a little birdie told me this.
Never had
this
to do.
Is crazy. This is
that
crazy.
Was the hardest phone call, bro. I swear to you, it was that was a hard place to turn down, man. It really was.
So what gave Stanford the edge? Because it was closer to home?
I mean, it was just closer to home. And for me, I feel like, basketball is just a tool to just doors and access to life, right? So I was just really trying to prepare myself for life after basketball. And I feel like Stanford, through the alumni network and the opportunities and venture capital, which is what I want to eventually pursue, was going to put me in the best situation for that. And it was tough. Like North Carolina was up there for sure. USC, Arizona. Sean Miller was on me super hard at the time. They were all fun, great schools, great programs, but it was just something about Stanford, man. I couldn't turn it down. I couldn't.
Man, could have been an alum, man. You could have been with the good guys. So good though. Turned out well for you. You're in Memphis.
Man,
first round pick, everything went smooth. But you could have been a part of the real brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? It's all good though. You still my brother now. So yeah, we'll make.
I would say, Dane, that's a hell of an answer though. Like to just talk about what it meant going to Stanford and getting involved with venture capitalists in his future. That's
somebody that comes from good parents, you know what I'm saying? Good military, you know what I'm saying? Raise you the right way type. That's dope. Speaking of, your parents and raising you the right way, I'm wondering if they had something to do with your camps, because I've done camps for years and I've done them throughout the country, other cities that I've played in. I've seen that you hosted your first annual camp and wondering what made you get into that, what made you start it up.
Right. Yeah. So the camp was something I've always wanted to do, by any means. So it took about like 6 months in planning. Big shout out to my mom, man. She was the real MVP of that camp. Like she literally just told me to focus on basketball and then she'll take care of the rest. So she got all the sponsors, shout out to Herbalife and Life 360 for helping set up that event. We got the kids gear. Shout out to the Grizzlies. They got like little hats and water bottles, just little stuff they could take home. And when I got the time in the off season to go back, I didn't know what to expect, because I feel like I'm a pretty humble guy. So I don't know like if people like, would you really? And it was free. So I just didn't know like how many people actually show up for my camp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was sold out, like 200 kids.
It was love, huh?
6 to 12, and then we had a second session from like 13 to 18, and it was sold out, like 200 kids both sessions. Man, it was a super fun experience just to be able to give back, see a smile on the kid's face. Growing up out there was really nothing. Like we didn't have any camps. We had like leagues, but that was about it. So I remember going to LeBron James camp when I was like 10 and how much that impacted me. So I'm just hoping it did the same.
Word. That's what's up, man. But that's great. But usually it takes some time to build up to 200 kids. So for you to get that type of love in your first year, it shows a lot about your community and how much they value you. I remember my first year, man. I thought it was gonna be big. I thought everybody coming. There was like 40 kids there. I was like, damn. All right, well, we make some adjustments. You know what I'm saying? But a little disappointing, a little disheartening. Like, man, all right, well. Maybe the community not fuck with me like that. But I think, mine wasn't free, but at the same time, it was to get the word out. It takes time, even after a decade, you still have to continue to promote. You still have to, win a chip first for people to, what I'm saying? Like, oh, we want to see you. So a lot of different things come about when it comes to building that fan base or that community base when people even know about your camp and actually save time. Because there's so many things going on in the summertime. Kids go away to, what's the name? Happy Fat Camp, or kids go away to, different camps. They go to family camp. They go to, learn how to survive camp, or they got AAU tournaments. They got, piano lessons. They got parents put their kids in so many different things. They also got family vacations. So for them to take a week out of, like mine's a week or a weekend out of their summer to attend your camp and to actually pay for it, it takes time. It shows a lot of love, but it takes a lot of time for them to remember that or to see it or to get that word of mouth. And, social media is a big thing now. And back then it wasn't that big. So it's hard to get things out. And I was never big on social media. It's hard to get the word out that things were happening, but that's love, man. Get 200 kids in your first year. That's amazing. So I got all of maybe 20 and let in another 20. We probably had like a total of 40, maybe like 60. Then we sprinkle some in. All right, come on, let's whoever wants to come through. So, but yeah, man, it's a good start, man. That's an amazing staple that your parents have instilled in you.
DG, so the first camp was when? When was your first camp?
2009, bro. I was
So that
drafted
was
in
like right after you
2009.
got drafted.
Yeah, I've been doing it since I've been drafted. And, Pops was like, "Yo, we're going to do this. It's something you can carry on forever. Even when you're done playing, and this will live on in your name, your brother's name, something for the family, do for the family and your friends to come back and give people in the community a job to referee, coach, work, some of your friends and peers." So yeah, I mean, I saw part of the vision. I didn't. So you see 40 kids, you're like, man, I don't know, this is it. But then over time, you get like 100 kids, 150 kids, and then you're like, all right, this is something kids look forward to every year. And I've seen from then kids grow up, be adults, have families, get jobs. And I remember your camp, man. Or I went to school. Some of them go to. It is crazy. It's humbling to see some of these kids actually play at Division I level, or become adults and still be like, I attended your basketball camp when I was like 13. It's a crazy thing.
Yeah, and Z, even I remember back when DG won in Toronto, he was able to then do his camp across the entire country of Canada, from Montreal to Toronto to Vancouver. So hope you keep that going. And obviously, if you win,
I did a tour. I did Halifax. I did Ottawa. We did a couple, and we sold out. Like, it was crazy. They showed a lot of love, and even in Texas, I did in South Texas, where there wasn't a lot of, there wasn't a lot of wealth there. So like a lot of, I wouldn't say poorer cities, but cities that weren't as well off, they don't get a chance to see Spurs play. But they showed a lot of there. They sold out there. Kids, a chance to do a tour throughout South Texas. So each city I've got a chance to do it. I haven't got a chance to do it in California yet, or I haven't a chance to do it in Philly. We had COVID during those times. But it was something I wanted to do, to build myself up in the community in the cities that I played in. And hopefully I can make a home here in Memphis and be able to, do a camp or two, while I'm here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously it's going to be a lot easier, Danny, and for you, Z, to fill out those camps with some more wins and potentially some rings, some jewelry from your stint there in Memphis. Yeah, for sure.
I catch up to my dog, man.
Yeah, only needs to get one.
So Z, that actually leads me to our final question here, at least one of the final ones. How would you classify success for you personally this season?
Man, that's a great question.
Give us 3 of your goals that you have for the season.
So for me personally, I love to win. I feel like when you win, everything else just falls in line. So definitely a finals trip, a ring is always the number one goal, no matter what. Just be better than we were last year. Just make slow steps to getting to that final place that we want to be. That's the first goal for sure. I wanted to make it an All-Star weekend and do the little Rising Stars game this year. I don't know if I'm even qualified anymore for that or not by the amount of games you got to play. But
it's still a lot of time, man. It's still a lot of time.
A lot of time, right? So I feel like that'll be a fun experience for sure. But I'm just big on improving, man. I just want to be better than I was last year in all areas. Honestly, I have a whole lot of aspirations and goals. I would love to be a Hall of Famer one day, multi-champion, and all the great stuff. I know it takes slow steps to get there, and I'm just trying to just build the right habits and discipline to get there. So that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have in this league, because a lot of people, a lot of teams, organizations skip steps. And that's how sometimes you'll be disappointed, or you'll get, upset when you're like a higher seed on the playoffs and you're like, oh, a team may surprise you, or you may not get the seeding you want, a home court advantage because you skip steps and not focused on, the teams that are right in front of you. Like, all right, you have a game coming up Christmas. Well, we got OKC, tomorrow. Or we got Detroit the next day. We got to focus on those guys first before we can get to Golden State. So a big part of this league is not skipping steps and understanding that. So you're ahead of the game in that category, my friend. So it's a good mindset to have, and hopefully we get you to that Rising Stars game and challenge. All-Star weekend should be a fun one. And your debut's coming up. So those who are tuning in and watching, you'll get a chance to see Z debut his first game of this season. So yeah, we're looking forward to it, man. And hopefully you go out there and have a ball, have a blast, and then actually play well, and then continue to play Grizzlies basketball.
Sure.
So Z, now that you're getting ready to play, it means a couple of things. One, you could make yourself eligible for that Rising Stars game, and two, it also means that Danny can now get closer to actually being seen on camera on the bench during the game because DG's always in the cut. Like always in the cut.
Bro, I stay out the way, man.
He's got no choice now. Jaren's healthy. You're healthy. Like he's got to, you know what I'm saying? I gotta see the homie. I watched Memphis Grizzlies game. I can't even see Danny. I'm like, where?
I stay out the way, my dog.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing though. Even though he's in the corner, he's like, I feel like he's the most dialed in, locked in out of everybody. Like I've learned just so many different tips from Danny, just off him, just commentating off the game. Really, like they're in the hedge, red, or if he sees a guy should shoot the gap, whatever it is. He's always talking and always dialed in. So. That's one thing I respect about you for real. Like,
appreciate it, man. I keep a decent outfit every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? I stay out the way, you know what I'm saying? Dez, the last game, everybody was hurt. Dez damn near on the court playing. I'm like, get your ass off the court. Dez on the baseline, about to save the ball. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I'll be out the way. I let them have their fun, see the court, and I'll chime in the huddles when I need to. But yeah, man, I'll work my way. I'll work on it, moving up the bench a little bit sometimes.
Just a little smidge over. That's all. Just let the camera see you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm there to block the cameras from being in our huddle. I feel like this is a thing that a lot of people don't. Like young guys don't know this yet, and they haven't seen me do it. But like cameras will be on Ja. You know what I'm saying? The cameras will be on. Always, but then a lot of times they'll be in the huddle on our play calls, and I'm like, yo, in San Antonio, we had a thing where probably like, yo, you get that camera out of here, you know what I'm saying, like, or block it. So like, we'd stand in front of it, or we'd have a towel, and a lot of times I don't know if they notice it. I'll just walk right in front of the camera. You'll see me, but you won't see me. You'll just see my legs, or you know what I'm saying, it's in front of the camera because I don't want them in our huddles. That's the only time that I'm in front. Any other time, I'm not looking for the camera. I don't care to be on it. But yeah, I'll work on it, bro.
I'm just saying, because what you got to set the stage, because if you start doing it now, it's not going to look out of pocket for Christmas, right? So like you can't just pop up on Christmas Day and be in the front of the bench. You know what I'm saying? You got to progressively get there, because because national TV on Christmas Day, I need to see, you're my homie.
This is my plan,
I need
man.
to see you on camera.
I feel you, but this is my plan. I'm planning on not being seen until I play. I'm just going to pop up and surprise shit, because half the people don't even know I'm here. Some people are like, oh shit, you're in Memphis? Yeah, I'm with the Grizzlies. And like, oh, they say what's up when they see me, but when I'm ready to play, that's when I pop up. Oh, the world's gonna be like, oh shit, Danny Green's in Memphis. That's when I pop up. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be a surprise.
That's not a bad idea.
You know what I'm saying?
Not a bad idea.
You know what I'm saying? That's my surprise. Not like pop up with an outfit, but shit, I'm in uniform. Surprise, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Lastly, Z, next week is a special week for the Inside the Green Room family. We are celebrating a couple of things. Myself and our producer, head of operations, Amjad Osman. Danny's gonna do something in practice next week. Just know it's not his fault. That's all.
They both have birthdays, and they had a suggestion that I'm gonna do. And it's probably gonna be during a shoot around or practice.
Hey,
I'm just letting them know when it happens, we're gonna see, and they're gonna judge our team of who was vibing with it. So when it comes, you're gonna be like, all right, this is what they were talking about.
Hey, all right, man. Good luck. If there's anything to make the process easier, just let me know. I'm here to
It'll
help.
be cool. It'll be a Christmas vibe. You know what I'm saying? We with it. So we'll see. But yeah, man, we appreciate you taking the time out, man. Much love. Good luck on the debut. Of course, I'm be tuned. I'll be watching. Those who are watching or listening in, subscribe, read, rate, review, all the good stuff. And watch Z come in for his first game back of this year. Keep supporting the Grizzlies. So it should be a fun one.
Yeah, and then if anybody's listening who wants to potentially pitch some venture capitalist portfolio work for Z, hit us up. We'll take some of that commission too, Z, if you end up making it. Don't forget the little people when you build up.
I got you, man. That's fair. That's only right. But nah, man, I appreciate you guys for real. I really do. This was fun.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll do it again some other time later in the season. Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, by the time we get playoff run and have a maybe Golden State matchup, we might revisit this.